2006 Honda Accord not starting. Just no crank. So let's see if we can figure this out. Hopefully it's an easy fix. Let's get started. Alright, one thing I wanted to check is to see maybe is there a blown fuse on the fuse panel, number 2, lower left, ignition coil. I just pulled in down here, I just pulled it, checked it, that looks fine. There is a starter relay up in here, so if we kind of pull this panel off, as I did last time, somehow. So what we're looking for is these relays up here, and it's the farthest one on the bottom right. So this guy right here, if you can see that, I'm going to try to remove it carefully. Oh, that worked. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the one next to it. I don't know what it's for. I need a little light. They kind of say what they're for. Fuel pump, fan, and what is that last one? LAF, which I don't know what that is for. I'm going to pull the fan one. Just make sure that they are the same relay. I mean, I think they are. Yeah. I just pulled the fan one. I'm going to put the fan one here, and let's see if we can start. Whoop. Foot on the clutch. Nothing. All right, it's not the relay. Let's put that back. We'll just keep them swapped. I don't think I need to go. In fact, I mean, I think I did hear it click. All right, so I think it's going to be the starter, or maybe we have bad cables. That's hard to do with one arm. All right. So now the starter is down here somewhere. All I know is that to replace it, you have to remove the intake manifold. You know, so that'll be fun. Well, picked up a new starter. I think that's going to be the problem here, and the starter is underneath the intake manifold. It's hiding down there. So we need to remove the intake manifold First plastic cover. I think we're gonna disconnect some of these hoses and wires. Disconnect the battery ground first. And then I think we can just separate the manifold and just kind of pull it back and then get in there. We're gonna give that a try. Let's get started. With the cover off, I think what we're going to do is just disconnect a hose here, maybe some of these other hoses, but really we just have 5 bolts keeping the manifold on, I think. I'm going to remove those and see if I can pull the manifold loose while keeping a lot of the stuff connected to just kind of save some time instead of having to disconnect absolutely everything. We're going to give that a shot. Pull this hose off, and I'm just going to disconnect this wire here. Now that shatters that. That's how you break that. That's nice. And I think I'm going to need to undo this bolt. But in the meantime, here's a trick. You can take the extension off here. Pull the whole extension off. Okay, and just put this on, and now your fingers are out here. And now you can just twist that. Okay? And it makes it easier. There you go. I'm gonna remove this wire bracket here and here. 2 10mm nuts. Bolts. Gently. Okay, let's hang on to this one because it's different than the other one. The other one's up here. Here, let's first get rid of this. I don't think we need to get rid of this guy, but come on up. That's tricky. There we go. Okay, so this is now loose, and this is still connected to here. So I think maybe we'll just, instead of disconnecting it, just pop this guy. Okay, so now that's out of the way, I think. You know, let's get rid of this one too. See if you can pop that sucker off. Watch your knuckles. Good. This should give us enough slack. We've got a cable plugged in down here. See that big gray connector? Looks like I can just have to squeeze on the back side. On the wrong side. Yes, I am. Okay. So let's pull that out to the left. There is a bracket underneath the manifold. It's kind of rusty, and we were able to get a ratchet on it with a 4-inch extension, 4-inch extension, and it is a 12 millimeter, just like the ones up here. All right, see if we can get that.
Okay, I can.
So now we should be able to get this manifold pulling it kind of straight. And the trick is it doesn't want to go straight out because it's still connected here. Now, you know what? Maybe I will remove and loosen this to pull this intake hose off. I think maybe that's what we'll do. After pulling the manifold back, being careful not to damage the intake manifold gasket, but I mean, we could replace that if we wanted to. I think it's probably in fine shape. I'll wipe it down. But there's this container, which I don't know what it is, connected to the manifold, which is impeding our access straight down to the starter. To remove it, 2 10 millimeter bolts up top, and then 2 12 millimeter bolts that are down below, back here under there. And so again, using a 3-inch extension on a socket, I was able to break that free. Sorry, there's 3 bolts. There's 3? Yeah, there's 1 on this side and 2 in the middle. And then I think once those are removed, I should be able to take this out, and then we can get to the starter. Okay, the bolts are out. Extra set of seat again. I might need to rotate it. Good. And there's our starter. Getting closer. Okay, it's still pretty tight in here, but what I'm able to do is disconnect the signal wire, remove the boot on the power wire. I'm going to remove this clip here because once I get the wire undone, I can pull this wiring harness back, and then we can get at the bolts. There are 2 bolts holding the starter in. I can see them. One down here, and then one that has a very long neck back here. So let's first get the wires out of the way. And I'm using just a 12mm just to get in here, which is really tight. The good news is that none of this is corroded. I don't see much, so I don't know. Hopefully it's just a starter that gave out. Okay. Now that wire's undone. All right, little update here. I'm quite frustrated. Removed the intake manifold a bit more, disconnected more things, had to quickly plug a coolant link with a tip of a pencil. Not a leak, it's just because I had to disconnect that hose. I just needed more room in here. Using both a long bar and a short, just making, you know, barely any progress with each turn, one click at a time. I sprayed some penetrating fluid in there. However, that bolt is about 4 inches long and the threads are at the end, so I don't think that penetrating fluid is going all the way up in there, you know what I mean? So I've got this pipe to kind of help me out, and it's just slow going. And the good news is that this one up here, super easy. I mean, once I cracked it, I was able to just finger loosen. So I'm gonna just, you know, leave that guy there, but I just gotta get this one bolt out. It's driving me nuts. So I'm gonna keep at it. Finally, the bolt is out, and you can see why it was a little hard to get out. It either was cross-threaded at the very end, or there's something in there. Bit of rust, everything just made it all gummed up. I'm gonna have to clean that up before this bolt goes back in. The other one I said came out easily. So now we get to the fun part, hopefully, of removing the starter, which should hopefully just come out. Maybe I need to whack it with a hammer or two. Let's go get a hammer. Hold this. All right, give it a whack with the hammer. Lost the hammer. And our old starter. We will compare with the new starter. They should be the same, and they are. Everything's in the right spot. Original Honda part, non-original. So now we just do everything in reverse. I'll put the top bolt in. All right, before we continue, I'm gonna go clean this up. All right, this bolt is an M12 125. It's the right size. So we've got our tap and die kit. And I thought I had an M12, wait. Oh my God, I don't have an M12 1.25. I only have an M10, an M12 175. All right, just trying to clean these threads. Using this pick, I have a little file. I was able to pop a chunk out of the aluminum that's stuck in these threads. And I'm hoping that with the file, it's going to go through the aluminum first, weaken it a bit. Oh boy, that's like solid all the way through that aluminum. Ooh, just got a chunk off. Sweet. Let me do it this other way, maybe, if I face it this way. Oh, progress. I think that's it. All right, just got some anti-seize, cleaned up this bolt a bit, which hopefully makes this so much easier. And we're just going to put a little dab of this on the problem end. We don't need much. Oh boy, getting that back in is going to be tough. Oh wait, it's not seated correctly. It's not flush. There it goes. The anti-seize acts as a lubricant as well, a little bit. So I think that's why I'm having not a hard time getting this back in. That, and then we cleaned up the bolts. It's starting to get a little tougher now. All right, now we're going to connect our wires back up. This was for, I think, the knock sensor that just clips in. Our signal. And then now this wire goes on. It'd be nice, just so nice if they gave us a little bit more space. And I'm actually gonna now, from what I remember, this was not tight at all. It was just snug. It was, I don't want to bear down on this one. And now this cap actually has a ridge on the bottom. So it's not enough to just place the cap on top. I want to make sure it fully surrounds. And then when it goes around, it goes as far down as possible to kind of tuck under. Sliding up the boot a little bit. All right. I think that's good. Everything is now tight, and we're going to see if we can start the reassembly process. I think this got there. And this part's going to be tricky, so I gotta remember where everything went. But before we put that in, we have to put that box in. This guy had these bolts holding it in. Two 10 millimeters on top. And I think these were 12s on the bottom. Yeah. So I'll just put these in quickly. Okay, this air box is back on. Going to start seeing if I can mount this. I wiped down the gasket. It seems to be in good shape. That went in. What is this hung up on? I'm stuck. Oh, there we go. Okay. I'm gonna have to start connecting some hoses, but what I'm gonna do first is get two bolts back on here. All right, two nuts. And that was with the trusty 12. Okay, I will tighten that up in a bit. For now, got this cable down here. Click. That's weird. Well, before we get to that, maybe I should get that last bottom bolt in. That bottom bolt. We'll need this. Maybe I should try to thread it in first by hand. Oh, that's tricky. Can you see on there? Oh, wait. Connected with this funny bolt with the shoulder on it, and this funny bolt is a 10 millimeter. Okay, clips in. We have this bracket. Okay, this hose, this wire gets clipped in here. That hose goes down there. Okay, what else do we have? We've got a hose down there, which is our pencil is currently plugging it up. So let's see if maybe we should do that one first. Oh. Once you realize that making a mess is okay, it makes things a little easier. Let's see if I can move this clip back. Okay, that is back. Got this one up here. Oh, we have to attach this guy back too. And then, can't forget this wire. Clipped in. In there, and I might have stripped that thing, which is really unfortunate, so we're gonna have to do our best with the screwdriver. I'll do a manual screwdriver in a bit, but let's see, we've got a few more hoses. Pull that one up a little more. There it goes. Okay, that is connected. There was a clamp here that I moved but never took off. Same with that one over there. The only thing that worries me is this clip on the bottom feels like it's not clipped. Oh, there it goes. Click. Okay, I think some of the last things are getting the manifold bolts and nuts tightened. Remember, there's 5 of them. 12 millimeters. Need the longer extension, maybe?
Oh, is this set to the...
Yeah, you just have to remember, you have to now hold it.
Oh, yeah. Here, let me see if I can take this off.
Get the longer extension on it, so that way you have something to grab onto. Yeah, that one. It even has like a knurled middle section so your fingers can grip it. So get that one finger tight, then do the next and the next, and then go back with the wrench. So get it as snug as you can by hand.
My fingers are so cold, it's hard to...
Yeah, I know. Wish the weather were a little bit nicer. Around you. All right, snug them up.
fastener you want these? Like, good amount?
Not too hard. That's good. Good. Okay. Yeah, you don't want to go to the top nuts too. Okay. Good. You don't want to go too hard because this is an aluminum thing, and you can easily deform it. Okay, grab those wrenches. All right, we're going to connect the battery and then hopefully fire it up. Okay, now the moment of truth. Would you do the honors and let me see, just make sure I quick check. I don't see any tools. Hang on, not yet. Okay. Fingers crossed. Yes! If we can fix it, so can you. All right, so we opened up the old starter. Like, why did this starter die? And a lot of carbon dust came out. And what are these called? I think they're called bushings. I'm not sure what they're called. The springy contacts that connect to the rotor. Well, this one fell out on its own, and it is worn so thin that I think it just wore out, and that would be where it was connected to the wire, and it just didn't have any more material left. It ground it down, and it probably fell out. And either way, it lost contact, and that's why this couldn't work anymore. I suppose this could be rebuilt, and we get new contacts put in. But we already have the new one in, and the car starts, so we're good to go. Awesome.